I want you to listen to me very carefully, because what I'm about to say may challenge everything you believed about your struggles, your failures, and your mental state. There are two kinds of people in this world. Those who go through life defeated, tired, complaining, surviving one day at a time. And those who stand tall in the face of adversity, smile when others break, rise when others quit, and win. The difference: it is not intelligence, it is not luck, it is not education. It is what I call a positive mental attitude. And let me be clear, this is not just thinking good thoughts. This is not surface-level optimism. This is not plastering a smile on your face when your soul is breaking. No, positive mental attitude is a spiritual power. It is the ability to see through the fog of difficulty and still act with faith, precision, and purpose. It is the only known antidote to failure, and it is the foundation of all lasting success. I spent over 25 years interviewing the most powerful men of our time: Carnegie, Ford, Edison, Rockefeller. Men who built empires not because life was easy, but because they developed this indestructible mindset. They did not fear failure. They invited it. They did not surrender to setbacks. They studied them. They did not collapse under pressure. They learned to transmute defeat into success. And so can you. But first, let me ask you something. What is controlling your mind today? Is it fear, doubt, self-pity, resentment? Or is it faith, purpose, gratitude, desire? Because the mind does not remain neutral. It is always under the influence of something. If you do not direct it, the world will. If you do not master it, the devil will. That is a truth I discovered when I finally confronted my greatest enemy, myself. Listen to me now. Your mental attitude is the only thing over which you have complete, unchallenged, and unchallengeable control. You can control it if you wish. That truth will either set you free or offend your excuses.
Many things can happen that you find challenging, but if you look deeply into how upset or unhappiness arises, most of the time, for the time being, we're leaving aside huge events, like somebody close to you has just died or death is approaching. That also applies to huge events, but we need to talk about those things separately, and we will. The everyday challenges of life that produce the everyday undercurrent of discontent. When you look at all these things that challenge you, people, situations, many others, all the things that challenge you, the actual challenge, when you look at how discontent or unhappiness arises in you, in 95% of cases, it is your mind rather than the situation. It is your mind's interpretation of the situation that causes the upset or the unhappiness, whatever form it may take.
The person who sees what's in front of them as a challenge will strengthen their response. The person who sees it as a problem, actually, the response to the environment is weakening the organism, right? So the problems that we face in our life are there, and we've created from a certain level of consciousness or unconsciousness. And by not consciously changing them over time, we agree with them until they become a problem, right? So we can't resolve that problem from the same level of consciousness. We have to go to a greater level of consciousness. Now that means then, if you keep thinking the same way about that problem and you keep feeling the same way about that problem, and how you think and how you feel creates an energetic field, your energy is actually the same, and nothing changes in your life until you change your energy. And when you change your energy, you change your life. The more relaxed you are in your heart, the more awake you are in your brain. For some reason, if you keep relaxing in your heart, the brain keeps becoming more awake and aware. So instead of stressed out, unconscious, and living in a program, practicing relaxing your heart and awaken your brain can actually become a habit. So being able to regulate your emotional state in the same environment. In other words, think, act, and feel differently in the same conditions in your life. And that's regulation. We only accept, believe, and surrender to the thoughts that are equal to our emotional state. We'll never accept, believe, and surrender any thoughts that are not equal to your emotional state. So you could say, I'm abundant, I'm eternal, I'll live forever, I'm healthy, I'm wealthy. And if you're programmed your body into that emotional state, it's going to say, you're not that.
It doesn't believe
miserable.
it. It doesn't believe it.
It only accepts the thoughts of suffering and misery because it's equal to that emotional state.
Always, always, always talk good about yourself. Always talk positive about yourself. Always tell yourself you can do it. Always be that encourager. And I was like, but that doesn't make sense. You know you're messing up. You know you're upping up. You're blah, blah, blah. The breakthrough was I have a picture of myself at 6 years old. And I looked at that picture of that kid. I said, is that kid a bad kid? No, he's 6. He said, at no time ever in your life did you ever stop being that little boy.
If you concentrate on the good and you concentrate on nothing but good coming to you, that's what's going to come. Thing that you will attract is what you focus on. Focus is the key. Focus on the good that you desire. Start to see it coming into your life. And a couple of times a day, sit down, let yourself relax, and give thanks for all the good that's coming into your life. And see all the good that you want coming into your life. But have a deep feeling of gratitude. And sit down and mentally let yourself get into that vibration. And do it frequently.
This is the most incredible method I've ever seen. I learned it some years ago. Just rewrite your goals every morning. Because every time you write your goals down, you're programming them into your subconscious mind. When you program them into your subconscious mind, you set up a field of vibration within your brain. And this law of attraction, based on this field of vibration, attracts into your life people and circumstances that harmonize with your dominant thoughts. What you do is you create a force field, which we cannot explain scientifically, but it is a field of vibration that goes out from you and attracts back into your life everything that you need to realize your dominant goals. You can have anything you want. Imagine you could have anything that you want, anything that you can hold in your mind on a continuing basis, you can have.
Most people set a goal and then wait for it to happen. It's never going to happen. You've got to assume that it's already happened. Mentally, it's already happened. It's happened because I've got the idea in my conscious mind. Then I've got to get emotionally involved in it. I've got it intellectually, I've got it emotionally. It's only a period of time till it moves into form. How does it move into form? Well, you attract whatever's required for it to move into form. You attract all the energy that's necessary to produce the physical result. How do you do that? You do that by intellectually and emotionally staying in the vibration of the good that you desire. You see it already in the present tense. So that keeps you on the frequency, and that frequency then dictates what you're going to attract. You can only attract to you what's in harmonious vibration with you.
Everything we want is going to take time and energy, right? Because really, we're matter trying to change matter. And if you're matter trying to change matter, it's just going to take time. And when it doesn't work, and you get angry and frustrated and impatient, try to manipulate outcomes. We fight for outcomes. We compete for outcomes because we're matter trying to change matter. Now, learn the skills, make the right choices, make the right sacrifices, and meet the right people. And in time, you may get that job. Nothing wrong with that. That's how we create in this three-dimensional world.